Boom, and we're live. Hey, good morning. Welcome to week, what is it, 48, I guess? Something like that. So let's just head right into the charts this time. Um, and let's start off with Bitcoin. Could have prepared that before, but that's okay. Boom. Okay, so what do we have to say about Bitcoin? Look, I had this level on for quite a long time, this one, and as long as that holds, I thought everything's gonna be fine. So now looking at the smaller time frame, let's say an hour. Ooh, nice. So there was a little fake out over here, and now it looks like we are building up strength again and attempting to break out from here. That's pretty cool. So let's see what happens. I mean, for now, this is some kind of structure from which we are looking for a breakout, right? We're still just in a corrective structure. On the daily, this looks very bullish. Nothing wrong with this. And on um, the weekly, this looks bullish as well. Nice lower wick. Yeah, this looks really good. I like it. As for Ethereum, Ethereum looks great. I mean, this nice doji here, and now we're going to the upside. Of course, that can still change. We got another 5 days, right? But so far, this is looking pretty good. Attempting to break all-time high yet again. Fuck yeah. I'm all in. A new higher high closed on the 4 hour. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Market is looking to be heating up a bit. Good stuff. Does it look like against Bitcoin? Ooh, nice. And here we're breaking up upwards as well. I guess on the daily, this is some kind of flag. Hell yeah. Very nice. I mean, just check this out. Right at resistance now. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, volume is not quite there, so not convinced. But this is all looking really, really nice. With that being said, let's jump into the gems for this week. Okay, starting off with API tree. So last week I said that we might hit 440 to 430 region, and that's what kind of happened because this is support now, and we should bounce to the upside. Uh, Whether we do or not, that's hard to say, but right now it looks pretty good with all these lower wicks on the daily. Shows that there is clear demand in this zone over here, which is good. And now I would expect to go up here again. And what happens here it remains to be seen, right? But for a bullish scenario, we would definitely like to see it break this level of 6 to 7 with like conviction, ideally going above this as well. So something like boom, and then some kind of corrective structure back into this level, then we can buy the breakout. So that's kind of the plan with API 3 right now. Um, as for potential entries, yeah, I guess on the 4 hour, we whoa, we can maybe start drawing a trend line, can we? Probably not. So if we cannot draw a trend line, what we're gonna do is we're gonna check the most recent high, which would be this one. And once that is broken, we can buy that. So either the breakout candle or the return to it. Even the breakout candle is fine. So I guess for now, that's the plan. Also, not quite sure whether buying API 3 is the best idea. I think there's better opportunities in the market. So let's go into APY. Okay, so it would seem that the 50 cent area that I thought would hold around here didn't quite hold. We had some kind of bounce, but it couldn't hold at all, so we dropped further. And with that, we created this supply zone, right? So it's also previous support, which is now going to be resistance with this point of breakdown over here. So I would expect this area to be big, big, big resistance right now. With that being said, if we are looking for some kind of bullish scenario, what would need to happen is a pump back up here as soon as possible, some kind of reclaim, and then once this level is reclaimed, we can start looking for long setups. But for now, not really interested. For now, I would expect the range low of around 37 cents to be revisited, and we'll see what happens afterwards. Like for now, this is a fierce, fierce dump, and it looks horrible, really. And if you go to the lower time frame, you can see a clear structure of lower lows and lower highs. Here, still just maybe printing equal highs or something. Definitely not a higher high yet. No ending trend pattern whatsoever. This is looking horrible. So skip APY. Okay, when it comes to ARCX, I started using this chart because it's the only chart that doesn't have the messed up wicks on it from the sandwiches. So, oh, that's nice. So as you can see, there's some kind of trend line here, right? And eventually we're gonna break the high and the previous support that should now be resistance. So look, I'm not gonna be interested whatsoever before we break at least this level to the upside, and then maybe we can buy here. But ideally, oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, that's right. So because high, low, high, low, high, low, right? So this is the most recent high. If we can break that one with some conviction, then we can buy the retest or the breakout from that structure. So for now, definitely not interested. Okay, let's check out bank. Right, so for now, I guess let's go to the lower time frame right away to check this trend line. Yeah, that's a pretty valid trend line. For now, what's happening is we're ranging, right? So it's going to be very, very important to break this level. I would say, tough to say where the high is. Let's just go with the highest high of this. So what we need to see, I can delete this one. What we need to see is for it to at least go above here, and then maybe we can talk about it. And ideally, yeah, this looks good. Like if it manages to do this, then buying either here or here is a good idea. And for the bearish scenario, we seem to have created some kind of support in this area, but if we break down, then I would expect more downside. So yeah, for now it doesn't look too good. Like we broke out of this downward structure. That's nice. That's like the first objective. The next objective is to break this level, then to return. Then we can start talking about possible buy-ins. But for now, not interested. Okay, let's go into BIOS. So it looks like BIOS dumped even harder than originally thought. So there's two scenarios, right? First of all, we have this trend line that is somewhat valid, I guess, and then we have a potential, just two touch, bigger trend line. So here are two scenarios that I can imagine happening. This should be red, by the way. So the bearish scenario is that, wow, that it's gonna do some kind of flagging formation towards these trend lines and then eventually break to the downside. For anything bullish, we first need to break this trend line and we need to break this high that has been created here right now. So ideally, I guess, yeah, we have a legit high here already. So I drew this earlier on, um, when this entire cluster wasn't yet printed. So now if I reiterate that plan, I guess something along the lines of this makes sense. So yeah, 120, 450, I guess this is. 450 needs to break to the upside, then the return, and then I would go as far as saying, because this is pretty low, I would go as far as saying buying the breakout. Yep, that would make sense. So that's the plan. For now, really, really not interested. Let's go to build. Okay, so as you can see, this pump almost completely retraced. Um, this is very simple. Like this is range bound. This is range bound right here. This is going to be some kind of accumulation zone, and the eventual break of either side will give us more idea of which direction it would go. If we would like to buy, I would say let's at least wait for this scenario to happen and either buy here on the retest or even better, buy this breakout. Okay, glitch. Well, glitch. Okay, so let's go to the lower time frame straight away. Hmm. Coolio. So first, I think we bought this as a breakout of this trend line. Was it? Yeah, here. I originally bought at 192, I think, with all the slippage, so I basically bought the top. Beautiful, right? And then I got stopped out over here, went all the way to 130, and then I bought this candle at around the retracement. Let me see the 1 hour. I saw this, yes, I bought here at 166, and for now, it looks like this is a valid breakout, and it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. We have some higher highs, we have some volume. It's pretty decent, but full bullish mode will be once we get above this high. Once we get above 194, then we will probably revisit the $3 level on all-time highs. All right, so as for a plan, uh, either by the breakout of this level, which I did, and then by the retest. But like the most ideal scenario would be to wait for it to go all the way up here, ideally breaking some of these pivots on the way, then return to the level, and then it's buy zone, you know? That would be the ultimate buy. But I'm glad I caught this breakout. Looks like pretty good risk to reward. Uh, let's just hope glitch goes to the upside for once. Okay, GMX. Okay, so GMX plan is very simple right now. I mean, this is still an uptrend and it's looking pretty good. But if we go to the lower time frame, what you can see, in order to continue up, uh, we would need to first break the 36 level, because currently that's resistance, and of course breaking this as well. So ideally, wait, did I include a plan there? Yeah, I did. So ideally, what would happen is something along the lines of breaking upwards again, then returning to this level, and then it can go up. On the other hand, we are bullish all the way up to 26, and if we break that level, we're probably gonna go lower. So that's GMX. Now, let's check GYSR. So, we seem to have formed some kind of support here, which held the first test. Now, if we lose this support, we're probably gonna revisit 16, 17 cents. But what we need to see in order to be bullish is a break that holds somewhat and then continues up. Like, I would go as far, because you can see that we had several attempts of going up and all of them were just like, nah, not happening. So that would lead me to believe that maybe it's a better idea to wait for a breakout of the 40 cent area. Yeah, that makes more sense. The 40 cent area, and then eventually buying that, because buying the breakouts here has not proven to work with GYSR. So yeah, I would wait for this. Mhm. Next up is Kampeki. So I'm already gonna use the new chart on this one, because all we're really interested in is this low down structure that we have. And oh nice, we had a nice pump here. So we seem to have formed some kind of support here at 16, 17. And in order to be bullish, we need to break the previous high, which we just kind of did, but with more conviction ideally, and then have a nice flagging return there. and eventually we can start buying here, or even better, buying here on the breakout of the structure. So yeah, that's the plan. As for index, oh nice. So we finally reached the 15 to $17 area where there is this huge support. Now, for the bearish scenario, if we drop lower, like a close below $13, then yeah, we're probably gonna go, I don't know, tough to say, maybe to $5, $6, something like that. So I really think this should hold. And for bullish scenario, it's pretty simple actually. We have this high over here that needs to be broken. So yeah, so we want to break this part, like the previous support that is now going to be resistance, and I totally expect this to go down or maybe start ranging or something like that. But let's say if it does actually have some strength in it, it's probably going to break this level. It's going to return, maybe range a little bit, and then when it breaks this level and returns, then we can finally start buying here or here. So yeah, that's the plan. And it's tough to say, right? Like I wouldn't be buying the breakout here because, well, this has been selling for a very long time and it's not really showing any signs of life. Like it's lower lows, lower highs all the way. So we want the chart to convince us. We want to see some strength first. And ideally that would be over here. Okay. Elixir. Yeah, there's still not much to say. No clear structure or pattern on the bottom of this. The only viable scenario would be a pump above $8 and then a retest of it. Like, nothing else seems interesting to me just yet. For now, we seem to have also formed some kind of support here. And yeah, based on the interaction with that, we'll see where it goes. But uh, the first time ever I would be interested is here, ideally buying the breakout. You can buy here, you can buy here, depending on your style, I guess. Lately, I like buying the breakouts because that's like the last piece of confirmation I need. Trying to go a little faster this time. Okay, MFT. Uh, I think with MFT, I actually want to use TradingView. Yeah, I definitely want to use MFT TradingView. Wow, do I have it here? Sorry. MFT. Yeah, okay, that's better. So with MFT, it looks like a huge ascending triangle. So for now, I'm waiting for a breakout out of the structure. A nice break on volume with a return to the base of the triangle would be huge. That would be a huge buying opportunity. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. Like we had, what is this? Wow, 170 days of consolidation here. So yeah, if this offers a retest, it's probably back to all-time highs and maybe even into price discovery. So yeah, we'll see. Uh, yeah, bearish, of course, break of this support level here at 11 cents or whatever it is. If that breaks with a close below, yeah, I would expect some downside, maybe even revisiting something like this level, 0.006. We'll see. MINA? Okay. So right now I don't really see any good entries. Seeing how unreliable the break of the $5 levels, um, the break of the $5 level and retest is, I really wouldn't be trying to buy that. I'm just gonna be skipping Mina entirely for now. If you in from lower, let's say from like one of these two setups, um, then the bearish scenario would be losing the the trend line over here. Bullish scenario would probably be something along the lines of this and buying this level, maybe even here. So yeah, that's the plan for now. I don't see any entries, unfortunately. So with Melon, the moment we broke this trend line and retested it, we just decided to go lower. Uh, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna go all the way down here, but for now, we broke this support, we broke the trend line, and we retested it, right? It's bearish retest. So this looks bad. This looks bad. I'd expect downside here, so definitely wouldn't be buying. If there's ever any buying gonna happen, it's gonna be after this ranges for a while and then maybe breaks both the trend line and the recent high, returns, see around here, then you can buy here or here. Yeah, but for now that's not happening. It's just, it looks very, very bearish. So we established some kind of support around this level right now. So we'll see how price reacts around that. But the bearish scenario, of course, is that we drop it, we retest, and we continue down lower. Let's do that in red. So yeah, nothing too cool. Mover. Okay. So this is quite a huge sell-off. I would expect on such volume and all for this low to hold as support, but looks like no. However, looking back at this, this looks like a perfect retest. Like we also have the hammer over here. That looks pretty good. And this looks really good. Yeah, like originally I thought I would like to see this range for a while and then break a high and retest the accumulation zone. But you know what? With this hammer right here, considering this is a retest, it's a higher high, this looks pretty good. And I'm just going to paper trade this over here. Stop loss will be here, and we would probably aim for all-time highs eventually. Yeah. Bearish scenario. Well, what the hell is this? Is it maybe for the 4 hour? What did I draw here, man? Anyway, bearish scenario is a break of this level. Like even now, break of this support and continuation down lower, right? Like I don't like buying this. Like I wouldn't buy this. I'm just gonna paper buy this. But this is nice that we have the lower wick here, so we know there's some buyers. But it doesn't mean anything yet, you know? It really doesn't. Like on the lower time frame, we can see a clear structure of lower lows and lower highs. And until that is somehow broken, I'm really not going to be interested. So yeah, let's just give it some time, I guess. Over here, it's forming some kind of uh, yeah, some kind of structure. Yeah, yeah, okay. This is going to now be resistance. And this is really, like, this is just a low. So this is the first level that needs to break. The real level that needs to break is this one for now. So what I would really prefer is for this to go lower, this being a new lower high. And then when it creates some structure here, and maybe even here, it can retest this high from above, and that's going to be our entry. Because this entry is pretty high, and the risk to reward is probably not worth it. So yeah, I would just wait on this one. Let me see the daily. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I also don't like the fact that it couldn't hold the momentum. Like the structure here was kind of a flag, and it broke to the downside. So yeah, I'm not really happy about that. So let's skip this. Just gonna keep an eye on it because it could be interesting during this week. It's already formed most of the structures that we need in order to time our entry. So maybe within the week, I'll call for an entry on mover. Okay, so let's check this on the lower time frame. So this was a really, really nice breakout entry, right? Like this candle, it looks pretty high, right? It really does. But it provided a nice return. Now, I would have expected this level to hold to 24.25, but instead it got back in here again. So, hmm, right now price needs to do quite a lot of stuff in order to turn bullish again. I would say the first thing is gonna be this. So this level is going to need to break to the upwards, and then the retest and the breakout are probably viable. But nothing too interesting right now. It's also nice to see that this got retested, like right here. That provided a really nice risk to reward. If you entered here, this is your invalidation. That was pretty cool. But I probably would not have done that anyway. So let's check the 1 hour as well. And there's not even a structure that I can draw. It's unfortunate. Yeah, this is not really giving me any clear entries, unfortunately. So let's skip this for now. Meta. Oh, one more thing about Maple. One thing that we really don't like in gems is when there is rewards, right? And apparently there are some, well, I wouldn't call it secret rewards, but let's just say not the most honest of rewards. And those really crush price, man. Like, instead of investing into something that has already some innate sell pressure, what I would rather do is put that into a same quality or better quality setup somewhere else where there is only the sell pressure of actual sellers and not those who reap rewards, because the buyers need to be so much stronger in this than in a coin that doesn't have rewards that it almost doesn't make sense to buy these things. It's just too risky. Just like with Ionex and Bag, all those other ones that have rewards, it's just meh. Don't like it. Okay, let's check this. Hmm. So right now we kind of, let's go to the 4 hour. We touched this trend line again and we had a nice reaction off of it. That's really nice. So this support right here, I guess, could be the new invalidation level. No, it is. It is the new invalidation level, the 130. So above 130, everything is bullish. Above 130, we're starting to see lower lows and we should be cautious. So for now, on the lower time frame, we have formed this structure over here, this resistance that is now one, two, three, fourth time being touched. So if this can break to the upside, then we can probably buy either the breakout of that level, which is kind of forming now, but I would like to see it go at least to maybe like this level right here. This is very small, so with some conviction, and then we can of course be buying the retests and the breakouts and all that, all the same jazz. So for now, stay idle, nothing to do really. Okay, with NFTX it's very simple. I mean, we have the new high formed here, so eventually we'll need to break that. Buying the breakout over here is a possibility because it's very close to the invalidation level, right? So let's say if this decides to actually break to the upside, we're not quite there yet, but let's say, let me see. Yeah. If this breaks, let's say to over here, then that's a pretty cool buy. But keep in mind, we also need to break the high. So what I would rather see is buying it over here, here, or here. There are three options. And I think all of these three are safer than just buying here. So let's wait for that. Bearish scenario, of course, breaking the support level that we have just formed, and then we can continue to the downside. But for now, I think this is going to be an amazing opportunity. Like probably this week, if this goes to the upside and it breaks, I'll probably be looking to buying into this because this huge structure is eventually gonna break, and if it breaks to the upside, we can expect at least these highs to be revisited. So overall, pretty good. ONX. Okay. So let me see. What did I draw here? Oh, okay. So this is kind of the level that you can see here is resistance. Here it was support. Here kind of support-ish, try to hold. Here it's resistance again. I would say this is a very interesting and important level. And for us to be even remotely bullish, what I want to see is this level reclaimed and then the return into it. We can probably buy either the retest or the break. You know, it's really all the same. I'm just looking for break and retest patterns that have some kind of shifted or tilted odds to me, like having good market structure, having decent volume, having good looking candles and all that. So if you put that all in context and then you buy when the time is right, I think that's the best way to do it. Anyway, we're not interested right now at all. Let's check RGT. Okay, so yeah, it's simple. Like we have lower lows, lower highs. Um, Eventually, we're gonna see some high that defines a zone, like an accumulation zone or something. And then when we break out, we can start buying the retest and the breakouts from the corrective structure. Uh, as for bearish, well, if we break this current support that we have over here, you can expect more downside, of course. Simple as that. Okay, remark. What's remark doing? Okay, so for bullish, what needs to happen is like this starts looking like a flag in a way. Maybe it will be an ascending triangle or something like that eventually. And then when it breaks to the upside, buying the retest and the breakout of the structure seems like a good idea. So maybe that can happen this week. No, that probably won't happen this week. Maybe in like 2 or 3 weeks. But hey, it could. Who knows? Bearish scenario, losing current support, losing trend line. Then I would say we're probably gonna revisit this entire area, like this demand here, maybe 14.5 and lower. But for now, not interested. Just gonna watch this print some kind of pattern. Rook. Okay, looks like we got our first mission completed. And the first mission was a break outside of the trend line. We got that. And now what we're waiting for is a break of the most recent high, or like the range defining high, right? And that's this 185 level. So the bullish scenario is we're probably going to range a little bit here, then we break it and we retest, and we can buy either the retest or the break from the structure. Bearish scenario, losing this support, and we're probably going to revisit 118s, maybe even 100s. So for now, we just wait. Now keep in mind all of these things that I'm saying here, it's like so that you have a plan into the week, so that you know what we're waiting for. It's not to say like it's very unlikely that I'm going to find a good setup right on the spot. Like most of the time you're gonna have to wait for it and you're gonna have to snipe your entry. Okay, here we probably have a similar thing, don't we? Yeah. Let me go to the lower time frame. Okay. So this is the high that is the most recent. If we break that, we could start buying the breakout. Then we can buy the retest and and we can buy the breakout from the retest structure. So there's three good buys here. Um, as for bearish scenario, yeah, if we lose this support, of course, we're gonna go lower. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this range around here for a little bit. But if it decides to go ham, it needs to do this. So we're gonna be waiting for that. Okay, STBZ is a piece of shit, isn't it? Yeah. There was some buys down here, but It's so weak. It's incredibly weak. Yeah, looks like trash. Absolute trash. No life whatsoever. Not interested. I think tanks are looking pretty good, aren't they? Like on the 4 hour maybe? Yeah, this looks like a flagging, like ascending triangle structure, whatever. It looks very bullish. Let me just tell you that. It looks very, very bullish. I don't really see an entry here. Like if this should be entered at some point, this is the resistance. Eventually, if we break to the upside, maybe the return and the breakout. So buying here would make sense. And keep in mind that your stop loss actually has to be all the way down here. So it's a bit risky, right? Buying these tops because you don't know if it's gonna go much more up or not. But for now, it hasn't really offered a retest of this entire range, fortunately. Maybe this was it, but that was very quick. I mean, I wouldn't have caught that. Like, I'm in tanks from, I think, somewhere over here, so I'm pretty chill. But it can't really warrant, yeah, I can't really warrant buying this. Yeah, maybe this needs some more time and it prints a structure. I don't know. Mm, yeah, I would just skip this. I don't want to be buying this stuff. Oh, look at that. Tara pumping. Nice. I paper traded that last week. I thought, okay, hey, this is a breakout. Let's buy that. And didn't have any free money though, so I just paper traded with the stop loss over here. Looks like that worked really well. It offered a few more retests deeper. That's why you always go below the range because technically, like this is the low, this is the high, right? Everything above is bullish. Only if it retraces more than 100%, then it starts being bearish. But for now, this is looking very good. And yeah, if you're in, just chillax, I guess. Let me see any plans that I wrote. Yeah, yeah, just this is probably just gonna go up. If it's not, then it's gonna break here. This level that is now support breaking into the previous range. It could start ranging there for a while before it decides to go again, or bearish scenario, it breaks down and goes to the downside. So right now, definitely no more entries. Like the entry was here, and this is looking pretty sweet. Okay, Tracer. I think Tracer looks like shit, doesn't it? Kind of, kind of. So right now we have objective number one. Objective number one was to clear this trend line. We did that. Now, what I really want to see, because I wouldn't really consider this a high. Is it a high? Nah, it's probably not. This is the low, this is the high, this is the new low. So what I want to see, don't I have a plan? Yeah, I do. What I want to see is a break of this level, that is the high, and then the retest. You can either buy the retest or the break out of it. Yeah. So that's Tracer. XTK, still the same old story. We want to see the break and retest, which we're not seeing right now. Instead, we're seeing some kind of fall. So yeah, this support better hold. I think it's gonna get revisited. If it doesn't hold, of course we go lower, but we're not gonna be DCAing in or anything like that. I want to see a clear higher high from this one, and then I can buy the bullish setup here. What's Union up to? Still dead? Oh yeah, still dead. Nothing has changed really from last week. It's exactly the same. So wait for the break of 1.6 cents or what is this? Something like that. Then the return, either by that or by the breakout from the return structure. VISR seems to have formed some kind of support here. Yeah, I would expect this to flag towards this trend line, which isn't even valid well, maybe it is. Maybe this one is close enough. Yeah, it looks okay. But anyway, eventually we are going to need to see a break. Like this is the current high, I would guess. Just mark it up. This is the current high that needs to be broken. And once that happens, the retest is viable. And this one is viable as well. Yeah, that's the plan into the week. Like, this is what we want to see to warrant a buy. Until that happens, this is just in a downtrend. It's just seller's territory. Not interested. Okay. What's this? Oh, yeah. So, what I'm looking at here is that every time we had the trend lines, the breakout out of the trend line was a really, really good buy. So, I would bet on that again. So if we see a breakout from this structure, like maybe even on the 4-hour, yeah, if we see on the 4-hour a breakout, I would be buying that. But maybe, let me see. Maybe it's a better idea to wait for a higher high as well. So yeah, I'll be updating that during the week. But right now it's just lower lows, lower highs. Not interested. Breakout first. XFT. Okay, so I was looking at the breakout and I was like, okay, because it's the same here. It had a beautiful breakout and it went to the upside. So I would like to see something similar right here. And for now, this is the high. I totally expect this to go lower, by the way. I really do. And the plan for buying is either the breakout from here, actually, depending on what the risk to reward is and how much you feel risky, I guess, because obviously it's the least safe out of these three. 1, 2, 3. But I think this will warrant a buy as well, so I'll be watching it during the week. Last one is XPR. Okay. Right, so when I was drawing this, this didn't happen just yet. So it happened now, and we lost our support, which was here. That is going to be turned into resistance now, so I can actually keep it in red. I would expect a retest and probably more downside. So yeah, that's it. Keep in mind that I have done all of this on the Discord as well, with written well, not really instructions, but like with written analysis. You can see all the charts, and this is just so that somebody maybe likes to listen. You know, somebody likes audio more than reading. So yeah, I wish you all the best of luck. Markets are looking pretty good, so hopefully we make some money, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.